that feeling. You know, the one. It's like a weight, maybe this underlying unwellness that just sort of settles in. But, you go to the doctor and they say everything looks fine. Maybe it popped up after something really tough, like a relationship ended or a job loss that really hit hard.
Or even losing a pet. Yeah, does it deep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you've ever felt that kind of disconnect where your body feels really off while you're navigating a loss, well, then this deep dive is definitely for you.
Yeah, today we're really diving into that powerful link, and it often is surprising between our emotional state and our physical health, especially when we're grieving.
Right.
And our guide for this is something called the Beyond Grief Body Map, which gives a really clear look at this connection.
Precisely. What we want to get into today is how grief can actually show up physically.
Yeah.
In tangible ways you might not immediately link to your emotions.
And crucially, what we can do about it.
Yes. Exploring some gentle, effective ways you can actually support your body through it all. Have you ever noticed maybe physical stuff cropping up, like being tired all the time or unexplained aches, maybe digestive issues when you were going through something really hard emotionally?
That's such a key question. It really cuts to the core of what our source material is saying. Grief isn't just in your head or your heart. It's got very real, significant physical effects. Like the body map puts it really clearly. It's not just emotional, it's deeply physical.
It's almost too easy to just write those feelings off, isn't it? Like, oh, I'm just stressed or I'm run down.
Sure.
But the creator of this body map, Rita, she shares this moment, and it sounds so familiar. She said, I missed him so much I stopped noticing my own body.
Wow.
And it was through that she realized the exhaustion, that tightness in her chest, the brain fog.
Yeah.
These weren't just, abstract sadness.
Right.
They were the physical signs. The way her grief was actually showing up. That really hit home for me.
And what's so helpful is how the guide then breaks it down. Like it methodically maps out where grief might appear in the body and what that feels like.
All right.
So let's take fatigue. This isn't just, oh, I need a coffee. The guide talks about a deep, persistent exhaustion, like the kind sleep doesn't even seem to touch.
Right. Like bone tired.
Exactly. Think about the energy it takes, physically, mentally, just to process that kind of emotional upheaval. It makes sense that we'd feel completely drained.
And then there's that awful brain fog. I think so many people know that feeling.
Oh, yeah.
Just can't think straight, trouble focusing, remembering stuff. The body map connects that directly to grief, impacting our cognitive function.
Yeah.
It's like our mental bandwidth just gets totally overloaded.
Totally.
Yeah.
And moving down the body, you've got muscle pain, that aching that just appears, right? No obvious injury. The guide suggests this could be our nervous system just being, well, overstimulated, kind of stuck in high alert.
Like bracing yourself constantly.
Yeah, exactly. When we're stressed emotionally, the body tenses up, almost bracing for impact and holding that tension. That can absolutely show up as pain.
That section on the chest and breath really got me. That tightness, the shallow breathing, maybe even pressure.
Yeah.
It's like our body is literally holding something in tears maybe, or just overwhelming feelings. Like it forgets how to just let go and relax.
So it gets how to breathe properly almost. And then the gut and digestion, classic one.
Oh, definitely.
Appetite changes, maybe none, maybe too much nausea, bloating. It's that powerful gut-brain connection in action, isn't it?
Totally.
When we're grieving, those stress hormones spike and they can seriously disrupt the whole digestive balance. Really shows how linked it all is.
And the last one the guide mentions is the neck and jaw. That clenching, often totally unconscious. It describes it as the body literally holding back emotions that feel too big. Like physically containing the enormity of it all.
It's such a powerful image. And right in the middle of describing all these very real physical feelings, the guide includes this quote from Dr. Earl Grolman.
Oh, yeah.
It says, "Grief is not a disorder, a disease, or a sign of weakness. It is an emotional, physical, and spiritual necessity, the price you pay for love."
Wow. That's quite something.
Isn't it? It's so important to remember that these reactions, no matter how uncomfortable or even upsetting they are, they're normal. Part of being human, part of loving.
Absolutely. And the guide then explains why this happens, right? Why our bodies react this way.
Exactly. It talks about the nervous system, how when we face loss, it tries to shield us from pain that feels overwhelming.
Okay.
So it might trigger responses like, more tension, trouble sleeping, maybe even feeling numb. It's like a protective mechanism.
Like an alarm system that's just become way too sensitive, reacting to everything.
That's a great way to put it, yeah. The body goes into this kind of protective lockdown.
Yeah.
Now, short term, that might buffer the intense pain a bit, but the guide points out, wisely I think, that if these reactions aren't addressed, if they become chronic, well then, what started as protection can lead to longer-term issues.
Like the sleep problems sticking around,
Yeah.
appetite staying off, energy levels tanking.
Exactly. Weakened immunity, trouble concentrating. It becomes this whole other layer of stress.
It's such a vital reframing, though. I love these lines from the guide. You're not weak. You're wired this way. And you're not lost. Your body is just overwhelmed.
Yeah.
It changes everything, doesn't it? From feeling like your body's failing you?
To understanding it's actually trying its best to cope.
Yes. Which, naturally, leads to the big question.
Yeah.
What can we actually do? How can we gently support our bodies when they're going through this?
And the guide really stresses that word, gently. It's not about trying to fix or rush the grief. It's about compassionate care while you're grieving.
Okay, so what are some strategies?
Well, the first one is about nourishment, nourishing your body, since loss can really mess with digestion and how we absorb nutrients. The focus is on small, easy-to-digest, nutrient-dense meals. Think like soups, smoothies, maybe just getting some fruit and veg in when you can. Simple stuff.
Makes sense. Less stress on the system.
Yeah.
And what about rest?
Crucial. And the guide emphasizes intentional rest. It's not just about hours slept, but prioritizing deep rest, really letting your system recover.
Because grief is just so draining.
Incredibly draining.
Yeah.
And it highlights being patient with your body, letting it have the time it needs. Maybe things like mindfulness or even like yoga nidra, those could help get that deeper rest.
Good idea. And movement. Does that fit in?
Gently, yes. The guide suggests simple stretches, maybe short walks, or even just focusing on your breath, mindful breathing exercises.
Okay.
The idea is to release that physical tension that builds up, but without adding more stress to your system, just easing things off.
I found the part about supporting the nervous system itself really interesting. It mentions things like magnesium, adaptogens, those herbs that help the body handle stress, and omega-3s.
Yeah, as non-habit forming options. Just gentle ways to help calm that feeling of being constantly keyed up or on edge, exploring natural support.
And woven into this advice, the creator shares a really personal moment, doesn't she? A turning point.
She does. After trying maybe less helpful ways to cope with her pain, she hits this point and has this realization, maybe I'm not broken, maybe I just need support.
That's huge, that shift. From feeling like a failure to recognizing, okay, I need some compassionate self-care right now.
Exactly. And the guide explains that for her, that support looked like intentionally calming her nervous system, really prioritizing those basics, good food, proper rest, gentle movement, and consistently using some plant-based supplements to support her body. There's a key insight there too, I think, that calming your nervous system, it's like taking back some control.
Yeah, from those overwhelming feelings that seem to run the show sometimes.
Right. And ultimately, the goal of this whole Beyond Grief body map approach seems to be helping people carry the memory of a person and experience whatever the loss is.
Within a body that feels more whole, more supported, not just weighed down by all that physical tension and discomfort.
Yeah. And you can see how her own journey, her own experience directly led to her developing her own range of supplements, born out of that personal need and finding what actually worked for her.
Makes perfect sense.
So as we kind of wrap up this deep dive, it really comes back to that core idea, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Just how deeply connected our emotional lives, especially grief, are to our physical selves, often in ways we just don't realize.
And, just taking the time to explore this with us today, that's a step in itself. It really is.
Absolutely.
Like the guide says so nicely, if your body could speak, it might say, thank you. You really do deserve to feel your best, even amidst difficulty. And supporting yourself through grief, that journey can start right now.
So maybe just consider this. What subtle signals might your body be sending you right now about your emotional state, about your own journey through grief? Paying a bit closer attention to those physical cues, that could offer some really valuable insights.